Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at Ciocca Chevrolet of Princeton to check out this brand new 2024 Chevy Trailblazer. This is the LS trim. Now the LS trim comes in a few different ways. The bottom LS trim is a 1.2 liter Turbo 3 with a CVT transmission. You can also get the LS with a 1.3 turbo 3-cylinder engine with a CVT, or you can get the LS with a 1.3 liter turbocharged inline 3 with an automatic transmission. All of them front wheel drive. So this being the very bottom of the Trailblazer lineup, is this going to bring you any value to save you the kind of money you may want to save when buying a subcompact SUV? So let's check it out. I do want to apologize up front. This car is a bit dirty, but we're below freezing right now this morning with about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, and there's no way I can get water on this car without it freezing. I could barely get the windshield clean because the washer fluid was almost all frozen in the tank. So let's dig in. Front end of the Trailblazer. Again, it's Summit White with a flat black grille up front with the Chevy bow tie. We do have LED headlights and the LED daytime running lamps, standard bulbs for turn signals, functionality in the grille top and bottom. We swing on over to our wheel and tire package. Excuse my shadow. We have a 17-inch machined aluminum alloy wheel, Chevy badge on the center cap. Now, these wheels are wrapped in Continental Pro Contact all-season tires, 225 on the width, a 60 series sidewall 17s, all four corners, front wheel drive. Moving on out, the Summit White with the flat black, no chrome, looking pretty good, I think, for a very, very base vehicle. As we move on in, we're flat black on our side view mirror, color matched on the front and the rear door handle. Up top, we have a regular antenna, should be a shark fin, color matched roof, no sunroof. Rear end of the Trailblazer. Again, we have the roof spoiler coming off the top, the wiper down below on the glass, standard lighting in the back, Chevy bow tie in the middle, flat black down below with the exhaust coming out the right side of the vehicle. We're under the hood of this 24 LS Trailblazer, and here is the base power plant, a 1.2 liter turbocharged inline 3-cylinder engine mated to a CVT transmission, 137 horsepower, 162 pound-feet of torque, MPGs 30 in the city, 31 on the highway, 30 combined. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87, so you can run this on regular unleaded gas. Before we get into the interior, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much? Well, here we go. Base price for the 24 Trailblazer LS with the 1.2 and the CVT, $23,100. This vehicle has one option for $495. That's the convenience package. And then we add in $1,295 for destination and delivery from GM's South Korea assembly plant. We have a total MSRP from the factory of $24,890. Let's check out the interior. Starting with the footbox, a nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator, but I would like to see some rubber finish on the dead pedal to protect that carpet. The floor mats are in the cargo area at this time. Seating-wise, manual seats for both the driver and the front passenger. Jet black cloth with some light gray piping and light gray insert design with some stitching, so they're trying to jazz up the space interior, and it's not half bad. Driver door panel, soft touch up top, flat black plastic gloss around your chrome door handle. We got soft touch on the armrest, but it's still fairly firm. I do like the light gray insert to try to jazz up this fairly plain door panel. The door pocket, not half bad. And then we have the standard audio system in here. Up top, we have our soft touch, more gloss black plastic into your heat and air vent, some more soft touch, and then down below, nice large glove box. Infotainment system. Now we do have Chevy's 11-inch infotainment system in this LS, base LS, I should say, since we have a few LS trims to choose from. But it's going to be wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, all the maps and nav come through your phone. Here's the volume knob right up here. We have it set right now on our radio. So we have Sirius XM plus other standard radio stations. You can Bluetooth your phone. You can go to your maintenance schedule. You can take a look at your trip information, your fuel economy. You can go to your auxiliary gauges, check those out, and dive deeper into each one if you want. So that's a nice touch. And then you got your trip information right here with your fuel economy and whatnot in here. So I do like the extra information that you're going to get with these gauges, and you can swipe it across. Oop, there you go. And then you got your air filter life there. So they got some extra things. There's your tire pressure, in case you're wondering what those are. So I do like that. And then we have our regular settings. You also got a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can go into your settings. This is where you can set up your clock, set up your Wi-Fi hotspot if you're going to want to pay for that. Vehicle to phone sharing and all that good stuff, sounds and all that jazz. So for a base system, it's nice and large, and it has some good information. It's easy to come by. And then we go to reverse. Nice large backup camera with trajectory, takes up the whole screen. So I love that. Take it back to park, and we're back to the beginning. We have 2 heat and air vents, 4-way hazards, your push button start right there. Base models don't always have that, so I like that. Standard heat and air, no climate control in this Trailblazer LS 1.2. Then down below, we have a 12-volt USB-C, USB-A, no wireless charging, no heated seats, no ventilated seats, no heated steering wheel, none of that in the base 1.2 LS Trailblazer. Here is the gear shift that's going to take you through the CVT transmission. We have 2 cup holders and an area to slide your phone in. And then the Chevy key fob right here, unlock, lock, remote start, which is a nice touch, and your panic button, Chevy bow tie on the back. Here's another area to put some stuff. Armrest, semi-soft, open it up, and we have an area for storage in here, and you pull that out and you got a deeper area. Steering wheel. It's a soft touch steering wheel, but nice 10 and 2 notches, Chevy bow tie on the horn button, flat black on your switch gear, round bottom wheel, but I have plenty of room to get in and out of this vehicle. Fairly spacious. Driver cockpit in here. Now on the left side, we do have adaptive cruise, so I think that's bringing some value on a really base LS Trailblazer. And then over here on the right, you have your telephone and voice commands along with your music and the scroll pad for your digital dash. There's limited flexibility with the dash, but I'll show you a few things that you can do with it. Now on the left stalk, you got your adaptive high beams and turn signals. On the right, front and rear wiper, and down here on the left, you can adjust your headlight controls and brighten dim the dash. We do have a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And now once we get to our digital dash, it's a little bit smaller, but it's still a nice, easy display. But one thing you can do with the scroll bar on the right side of the steering wheel is you can hit it and hold it in a second. And now you can change the way your gauges look. So what you first saw was gauge 1. We'll move down to gauge 2. There's gauge 2, so you have a little bit different presentation. Hit it again. Now we can go down to gauge 3. We can select that. Now we have a different presentation. Hold it in again for a second. Yep. And then you can go to vehicle info if you want to have that displayed. And that's what it would display instead of the gauges. So we do have some flexibility on what you're going to see in this small digital dash, but I think it's pretty cool the way they have that set up. And I think we'll leave it on gauge 2 for now. Looks pretty cool. Let me know what you think. Overhead console, pretty plain Jane, but we do have the SOS button in case there's an emergency on the road, and OnStar. If you want your dome lighting to come on and off when you open and close the door, this button remains in the center. So when you open the door, your lighting comes on, close the door, the lighting will dim out. Eventually, there we go. Standard rear view mirror. We do have a dimming feature. And then our sun visor with vanity, no lighting. And does it slide? No. Just like the Trax, doesn't slide. Getting in the back of the Trailblazer, I have the seat set for my driving position, so we'll pop on in. Lower your head a little bit if you're taller, but I got plenty of room once I get in for my head, shoulders, and knees at 5'11". We have cloth all the way down. We have a seat pocket behind the driver, and we don't have one behind the front passenger, or do we? You know, we do. It was just stuck there. So there you have it. But in the back here, we don't have any kind of command center at all. No heat and air vents, no connectivity, and the back door panel is all hard black plastic all the way around. There's no jazzing it up with some gloss black plastic or a light gray insert like the front door panel is. It has severe cost cutting on it. Back seats, again, the cloth. We do have that light gray insert, kind of jazz it up a little bit, but we do not have an armrest in here at all. So basically, there's your cup holder right there in each door panel, and that's about it here in the back of this LS Trailblazer. Getting in the cargo area of the Trailblazer, it's a manual tailgate, so you come to the back, right above the license plate, hit the button, lift up, nice and light, with the rear seats up, 25.3 cubic feet of cargo space. Here are the carpeted floor mats. Underneath the floor here, we do have a spare, so thank you, Chevy, for that. We do have some extra storage cubbies on either side, tie downs, and some lighting. And to get the rear seats down, you just have to push that button forward and throw them down. Push that button down, throw them forward. And now, with the square shape, we're looking at 54.4 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of this Trailblazer LS. Let me know what you think about that. Window sticker, we'll zoom on in. Sorry for the glare, but it's just one of those days. Standard equipment across the top. There's that option of the LS convenience package, total MSRP, fuel economy estimates, safety ratings, made in Korea by Chevy. Let's take this baby out for a spin. All right, we're out on the road in this 24 Trailblazer LS with the 1.2, not a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you can get the Trailblazer with the 1.3 turbo inline 3. That gets you about 18 more horsepower than this engine. It's at 155 on the horsepower. So, not a lot for moving up to the 1.3, to be honest. Based, on those figures. 18 more. Should have made it 20 more. Made it 157. But it is what it is. But again, front wheel drive. Now, you can also get it with a regular automatic transmission rather than the CVT. Obviously, the CVT is going to get you a smidge better gas mileage. So that's really up to you and what you want to do, and whether you want the CVT or whether you don't want the CVT. But there is an automatic option if you don't want the CVT. So I do like how they have that set up. Pickup wise, it's not going to set any fires, there's no doubt about that. But you know what? The suspension feels pretty good. The seats are really, really base, so they're a bit firm on the old rump. So you may want to keep that in mind. But as far as your visibility, you got great visibility out the windshield, side glass, side view mirrors, rear window, no problem. But you do not have blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert. That has to come in an extra package, which this car doesn't have. Let's check out the brakes. Hands off the wheel, stop straight, take off. And down the road you go, no problem at all. So this is a very light, small vehicle, very light on its feet. Typical Korean-made car, it's very light on its feet, just like Hyundai and Kias are. Turn in, a little wallowing, but not bad. So this engine is going to be enough to get you up on the road, no problem. Now, valued, what kind of value do we have in here? Well, for an extremely base LS, and since there's 3 levels of LS in the Trailblazer lineup, and we're at the bottom level there, you do have dual digital screens, which is value. The 11-inch with the wireless CarPlay Android Auto brings some value. USB-A, USB-C, 12-volt, that brings some value, right? We do have lane keep assist and pre-collision braking alarm, so that brings some value as far as safety. The CVT brings you some value as far as MPGs, whether you like it or not. So there is some value in this standard without having to add any options. Now we have an 18.65 foot turning radius, which isn't bad. It just whips right around, no problem. And down the road we go. And once you take your foot off the accelerator, the driveline quiets down, but it is going to be a little bit noisy under load, as any small displacement engine would be. And you're going to get some wind noise, you're going to get some road noise, as the sound deadening in here is, I think, pretty much minimal. So it's not going to be a quiet cabin by any stretch of the imagination in this Trailblazer LS. So we do have some value at 24, but it's almost $25,000. So does that mean you move up a little bit and you get a little bit more on the inside? Or does that mean you go with that Trax that we saw? I had a subscriber of mine, David, ask me to do a Trailblazer LS so we could compare it to the Trax LS we did. So I'm going to put the Trax LS video at the end of this one in case you want to compare the two to see what makes better sense and what gives you more value for the money spent. And then you can let me know what you think. Or are you going to go somewhere else with your hard-earned money? You can let me know that as well in the comments. But I do want to thank Ciocca Chevrolet of Princeton for allowing the channel access to this 2024 Chevy Trailblazer LS 1.2 CVT for review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.